And I believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, CenterStrain01, and we are live with our Assassin's Creed Origins Q&A for my new gameplay session that I did just a couple of weeks back. Guys, first of all, let me just say thank you to Ubisoft for obviously inviting me out there. But also, let me say, you guys have been hounding the crap out of me because there's one thing I just want, I got to get out there first off, is the fact that I wanted to get this footage out to you guys as quickly as possible. I even went as far as to go and ask Ubisoft if there was a sneak peek that I could show early or anything like that, but an NDA is an NDA, and there was just no getting around it. So unfortunately, we had to wait till now. When we were in the room and they were telling me that when they first made the announcement that you can put this footage out on the 4th, I was like, oh god, that is like way too far away for people, because I knew what was going to happen. I just knew it, that there was going to be so many people, just like every single video I would make up until the release of the footage would be like, when are you going to release the footage? When are you going to release footage? When are you going to release footage? And it just got to the point where that's all I saw, and I was getting so frustrated. Not necessarily at you guys, but somewhat at you guys, because I tried to explain all the time that, you know, I can only put out the videos when I'm allowed to. I mean, you got to respect the chances that you get from these developers. And you got to understand, it's not that I don't want to put the footage out to you guys as quickly as possible. I don't want, even if someone leaks the date, I can't collaborate that leak. I can't say, well, since it's already leaked, yeah, this is when it's coming out. I can't do that because it's still breaching the contract that I signed to do that. So unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes. Some people are very impatient, especially Seed. But we're going to go ahead and start. So this Q&A is specifically from all the questions that I had you guys ask myself and the developers in the video that we did before we went to the event. So that is the reason why this video is here. This is to answer all of those questions in there. Once I'm done with that, then we'll get to some of the questions in the chat. So just remember, some people are going to be coming in the live stream later than others, and I might have already answered something. So in the chat, do me a favor. If you see something that someone is asking that I have already answered previously, let them know that. Be a good person, a decent person, and let them know that, so I don't have to keep repeating myself over and over. I want to get strictly to the point, answer all of these questions as quickly as possible, and get them out to all of you guys. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to put a video that you actually haven't seen yet over top of this stuff. And I want to make sure that it is the correct video. Yeah, I don't believe you've seen this video. There'll be no sound or anything like that, but there we go. All right. So this is new footage that you guys are seeing, and no one's seen it yet. So I'll have this video out probably tomorrow, if you want to hear the sound and all that stuff. This is actually showing you guys some new outfits. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the questions that were asked to me in that video, that specific video. And so here we go. So first up, some of these questions are going to be obvious, but I'll still answer them for those of you that don't know. Is there going to be any release information for Modern Day? No. No information for Modern Day will ever be released before the release of this game. There's a reason for that, is they want to keep it all a surprise as much as possible. There's been leaks here and there, but they will never, ever, ever themselves put anything about the Modern Day up, because they want it to be found in the game when it releases, okay? You got to think about, they got to leave something to the imagination, and that is the route that they're going. I did ask about that to Ash. I actually had an interview with Ash where he is the game director. I sat down with him for about a good 10-15 minutes, and we were just shooting the shit. Even before the pictures you saw that I posted on Twitter of me and Ash, we were just kind of messing around. This wasn't even in the interview yet. This was just before the event started, and I walked around with him a little bit and talking to him and stuff like that, and just kind of picking his brain a little bit, without like asking, just getting to know him. And he was a really cool guy, and I had a blast actually talking to him. So as we get into the questions here, I will have those when they come up in the thing. So nope, no modern day info at all. Green Team Captain asks about the historical descriptions, just like all of the past Assassin's Creed games, the database and all that. Yes, of course. And you guys now know about the Discovery Tour, which is something I was really excited about, which is no combat, no story, straight up gameplay with a voiceover. I actually saw this in action. I saw about a 5-minute video of this, of them playing the game, going through the game, and then there were people doing things, mummification or mummifying. I use mummification again. And there was a voice narrator going on. These were extensive. It took like 20 minutes to finish the whole thing. And it's all interactive, gets to walk around and stuff. You guys seen information on that. I've got a video on it on the channel. So go check that out if you want to see more about that. Social stealth. No social stealth whatsoever. There is nothing. This is not that Assassin's Creed game, okay? This is not what it was in the past where you can use... there's no reason for social stealth in this game, because when I talked to Ash, he pretty much explained how there's no, like, really so-called tailing missions in the game anymore. So no more where you're going to be sitting around and you're going to be every inch of the way following a guy while he's doing stuff. Now, there might be a mission where you have to follow a guy to see where he's going, or like, say, in instance, I did a side mission where I had to follow where we had these civilians. They were working a market, a bazaar, okay? We had one of them, we went around, asked a bunch of questions out of about 4 or 5 different civilians that were working in that area, but one of them knew the information that we needed about a specific character that we were trying to get information on so that we can assassinate. This is part of a main mission, and you needed to find out information on who this guy was, so that you can slowly start to build your profile on him, and then you can find out where he is, so then you can assassinate him. So in that instance, 1 or 2 people knew where he was, but nobody was saying anything. So we literally had to wait until work time was over. So in order for me to do that, I sped up time to nighttime, and then I followed them as they left their job. So that was actually pretty cool to have to sit there and wait. Or you can, transfer time faster, and then you can follow them as they're heading home. And when they were heading home, they went straight to the information, and then we followed them, and then we got the information we needed. I thought that was really, really, really cool. So, but other than that, there's really no social stealth whatsoever. There's no hiding in crowds. Anything to do with crowd environments. It's not that kind of Assassin's Creed anymore. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but this is a new reinvention. It's different. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to love it. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. I'm trying to get through these questions because we've got a lot of them to discuss. Here's a big one, and this is from Albatross Gaming, the same guy who just asked about the social stealth. So, he asks, will you be able to replay missions/quests? No. No longer will you be able to replay a mission. This was one of the things that got me down a little bit. I understood why, but it got me down. Because I'm a perfectionist, especially when I do walkthroughs of the hardest games, of complete stealth and all that. I'm a perfectionist. I want to learn the level, go back, and then do it and show it to you guys. Unfortunately, that is not the case for Assassin's Creed Origins. However, he did say that they are thinking about putting it in after release. But as of right now, you will not be able to replay a mission. Okay, if it's a main quest storyline mission, you will not be able to replay it. What happens, happens. And I told him, I said, one of the best things that was amazing in Assassin's Creed was that you go through it your first time, you figure stuff out, you learn the paths, and then you go back, and then you watch yourself become a true assassin, right? Well, you don't get to do that. So it's like, if you mess up, this is what I had to do in the demo that I played, is because I wanted to show you different ways of completing a mission, and you'll see those videos coming up soon, is I literally died on purpose so that I could do it one way, die before the checkpoint, and then restart the checkpoint, and then do it again. So that was the only way that you're going to be able to do that. There is no restarting of missions. Another question that came up, obviously, is there going to be a New Game Plus? There is, at this time, no New Game Plus. So nothing carries over or anything like that. The world just continues. There's no New Game Plus as of right now because you can't even redo the missions or anything like that with everything you already have. So they're looking into it because I expressed my interest, and I know how much you guys express your interest because you're like me. You want to learn the level. You want to do it blind and then go back and then do it like a true Magi would do it, or assassin. Unfortunately, you can't do that. So no New Game Plus, unfortunately. Next question here. And we got a lot here. So this is from Carlos Conde 23. No modern day info. I already explained that. How many legacy outfits will be available? I don't know how many, but I do know that they are in there. And Ash was talking about how they're going to set it up in a way that makes sense, that doesn't feel like it's just tacked on. So it's not like they're just going to be available. It's like the legacy outfits will just be available. It won't be like that. It's going to be something that will be implemented in a way that will feel good with it. But yes, legacy outfits are going to be in. As far as legacy weapons like Connor's bow and things like that, no. He didn't say anything about that. However, there are going to be Easter eggs and that such from past games. Now, obviously, this is taken way in the past, so you're not going to have, like, this is going to be strictly for the people that have played the previous games. There'll be little nods to those, in the game. Let's see what else. There are no more sequences and no more memories. This is a quest and mission-based system. So because of that, no longer will you be able to go to a sequence or be able to go to a memory in a sequence. It's all going to be, this is quest, this specific quest in the name, this specific quest in the name. But here's the kicker. You can do them at any time you want. As long as that specific quest line is available, you'll be able to do it. And you find side missions and stuff like that by going throughout the levels and using Senu to traverse the areas and locate things and stuff like that. So it's all flows together a lot more. What's up, Lasers? How you doing, bud? Next up, naval combat. They didn't really go too much into naval combat. There is going to be a slight bit, but it's not like you think from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's nothing like that. But there is going to be a sliver, and it won't be in the beginning of the game. There will be, as I said, cameos, not cameos, but Easter eggs and stuff like that for the previous Assassin's Creed games. Move on to the next question. Dean Smith asks, how much will it take to complete the game's side quests and main story? Well, obviously, there is no number right now as far as how long that's going to take. This is going to be an experience based off of how you play. If you want to get through the mission as quickly as possible, play it on easy, then obviously it's not going to take as long as if you don't. But even though I played 5, 6, 7 hours, I only did maybe 5 or 6 side missions in that complete time. That is because I just got so lost in the world, and it was just so much fun. A lot of things that you just come across, like these big brute guys, these enforcers that go around the map that you can take out to get some legendary loot and stuff like that, which are like at least 6, 7, 8 levels above you. Really take up your time because they're so difficult to beat, and that's the best way of leveling up, is to do side missions and stuff like that before you tackle the main missions. It's very important that you level up, because if you do not, you will find yourself in a continual loop of dying in this game. So if you try to go into a mission when you're level 14, hopefully, let me know if you guys hear that hammering that my wife's doing downstairs. She's working on some stuff. But if you try to go into a mission, you're level 14, and that mission is level 18, you're going to have a hard time because the enemies are going to be able to take you down in like 1 or 2 hits. Now, added on to that, if you're playing on hard, because there are difficulty settings now, easy, medium, and hard, that will also add on to the difficulty. Now, I will tell you this, and I've got more videos to showcase the difficulty because I really wanted to focus on that, because I know a lot of you guys are like me that want to play games on hard and really get the most challenging aspect out of them. But I will tell you that there's not a lot of difference between easy, medium, and hard. It's all based off of hit damage. That's really the only thing that is different. It's all hit damage. So yes, you will die quicker on hard, and it'll take longer to defeat enemies on hard, but the game is still brutal on no matter what difficulty setting you put it on, because the combat is changed. The combat takes some time to get used to, and that's just going to be, you know, how much time you're going to put into it. So, let's see what else. No information on the PC specs of AC Origins. There is, closer to release, going to be a release from Ubisoft, and they told me this, where they're going to give out the specs and tell you everything like that. But know that if you're playing new games right now in 1080, and you're getting a good 60 frames a second, you're going to be able to play this with a good 60 frames a second. So it is comparable to other games. Like, look at The Witcher 3 and stuff like that, or other RPGs for that instance, and get a, you know, a suggestion of what you think it's going to be. Most likely you're going to be able to run this game okay. You might have to take down a few settings, but yes. So the Xbox One X is running fully at 4K native, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's not 60 frames a second, it's 30, but it looks amazing. So just imagine what the PC can do. I run a GTX 1080 Ti. My plan is to play it on the PC, and then run it at probably 1440, because I have an ultra-wide monitor, and I don't have a 4K monitor anymore since I sold that. So I'll obviously be able to get above 60, so you'll be able to see smooth gameplay, and hopefully you'll be able to get above 60 as well, so you have that nice smooth instance. It's always going to be better, to play on PC for you console gamers out there, because it's just going to be so much smoother, and you're going to get more frames, and it's going to be just a more enjoyable experience. But everyone is different. Some people enjoy 30 frames a second, couch, relax, you know, in their underwear, whatever. Me, every game that I play is sitting here at this desk. So for me, I want to make sure that I show the best quality off and the highest fidelity. And because of that, that's why, you know, it's going to be up to you what you want. But obviously, use it. It's subjective. But the PC specs are going to be coming out soon. Let's see what else. This was the question that had him laughing his ass off. Can Buy It grow beards? He did not say yes, but he specifically did not say no. Let that sit in a little bit and tell you. So I actually think that it is going to be possible, or I think that your character progressively is going to go through something, or in the course of the story, he might grow a beard. Like, if you remember, there's going to be a section where you're going to have to go through the arena, the gladiatorial kind of arena. It could be where he's in the, you know, he's in the arena mode and he grows a beard or whatever. But I think there is going to be some implementation of that, because he, first of all, just laughed at it, because he knows, you know, there are a lot of people really have that kind of question. And I think there is going to be, but I don't know for sure. But he specifically said that he's not saying no. So take that with a grain of salt, you know, and whatnot. Let's see, what else? Okay, uniforms, outfits. So we're going to go over uniforms and outfits in this now. They're different than they were before. So before, you needed to purchase a specific outfit, and that outfit had specific armor, like, you know, stealth and all that kind of stuff. It had its own sections. Well, that is gone, okay? Everything is randomly generated now. All outfits are randomly generated. You're going to get a style. That style outfit will be made up in different ways, different colors, different patterns, and whatnot. So if you go to one vendor and you look and you see this outfit, and then you go away from the vendor and you come back and you look and you think that same outfit's still there, no, it's different. It might be the same style of outfit, but it's different. So it's all cosmetic. What actually matters with protecting Bayek and making him more powerful is the things that you craft. Crafting, obviously, your hidden blade. Then you have arm garments and stuff like that you can put on you, on your chest and whatnot. Crafting those, getting those better, that is going to be what's going to make your uniforms. It's not really specifically outfits that are going to make you better. It's the things that you put on over top and around the outfits that are going to make it better. And in the gameplay that I show, as you can see here, we've got on a different outfit right there. And you'll see that style other ways, but it'll be different colors. It might be red, it could be tan, it could be other. There's a mixture of different outfits. So I would keep going back to the vendor and seeing the new styles. They cost about the same amount of money and they have the same type of style, but they were exactly the same outfit, just reskinned and different. So what an outfit you might wear might not be an outfit that someone in your particular one of your friends sees, right? Because it's completely random based and generated. But there are specific outfits that cost a lot of money or a lot of coin in the game. I didn't see anything that had to do with buying microtransactions or anything like that. I'm talking about in the game. So when you go around, you loot enemies and stuff like that, you gain experience, you gain coins, and then you can purchase those. In one of the videos that I did, I believe it was the Alexandria video that I showed you guys, I got the most expensive outfit in the game up to that point, and I used it. And it was very, very unique. And it actually looked really cool. And one of the things I really, really enjoyed about the outfits was that when you'd have a hood and you had a mouth, like kind of, I don't know what you call that, but where it would cover up your mouth, right? Bayek's voice would be muffled, so you wouldn't be able to hear it as clear. You'd actually feel like he's speaking like Bane here. You know, he's no, not like Bane, but he's speaking with a cloth over his mouth, like you would when you have that. So, and of course, for those of you, you can take your hood off if you want. It's something you just do in the options. It's very simple, and there are a lot of options to choose. I mean, this game goes into complete depth on everything you could think of on the HUD. I mean, every little itty bitty detail you will be able to adjust and cater to whatever you want. So let's get another video in here, as I always like to have some stuff going on in the background here. Perfect. All right, so next question. Well, because we didn't play it on PC, I don't know about a field of view slider. Oh, here's a question for everybody that a lot of people have been asking. There is a photo mode, and this photo mode is specifically meant for you to capture those moments in your game that you want to capture, just to take a look at the beautiful environments and the cities and all that stuff. So there is a photo mode that you can go into in the game that you will be able to have lots of fun with, and I can't wait for people to show some amazing pictures and amazing things from that. All right, next up. I had over 2,000 questions here. As far as nighttime darker, they've darkened it slightly. The WASD gamer asks, does the nighttime look any darker? If you've noticed some of the new gameplay I put out, it looks slightly darker, but they really... And I asked Ash this. I asked, what was the choice of making the light so bright? Like or should I say the nighttime a lot brighter than, say, a normal nighttime? And he said the same thing that I was thinking the whole time, and I've been telling everybody. It's because they did different versions of the night when they were going through to see which one looked best, and they did a version of what you guys would consider to be true nighttime, dark and atmospheric and stuff like that. But all of them were like, the gameplay didn't feel fun. You always had to have your torch out because you just couldn't really see in front of you, especially in the desert area and stuff like that. Everything was just so dark. And so they lightened it up a little bit so that everyone would be able to have a good balance of enjoyment of gameplay, of still being able to run around and do all the things that they could do in the daytime, but not necessarily, they didn't want it completely dark. So it felt like it was and I've always said this, I felt the nighttime felt like it was a good balance between what it needed to be. Now, will there be multiple save spots? Now, yes, you cannot replay missions, but you can have multiple save spots. So you can have different, save spots for different games and stuff. So that will be included in the game. There's not really that big of a difference between normal and hard. Again, it's just Enemies will take a little bit more damage, and you'll die a little quicker. But honestly, it's still so brutal that you really didn't. I didn't really notice it, because I did like. I attacked a stronghold just by doing nothing but combat on easy, on medium, and hard. And I felt like, yes, easier was a little bit easier, obviously, but normal and hard really felt almost the same. Or either that or I was just getting better at the combat by that point. Why don't I have 1 million subs? I don't know. I wish, you know, if I had 1 million subs, you know, life would probably be a little bit different, but this channel would definitely be the same, and it would never change. As far as ambient music, yes, there's going to be constant ambient music. All the music hasn't been really put into the game from the demos that we had. There were just moments and stuff. So the music is going to be appropriate for the situations that you get yourself in, and from all of that I've heard of the music so far, it sounds amazing and great. And I know you're listening to Assassin's Creed 2 music right now. That's just because that's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of Assassin's Creed music. To me, that's the best video game music ever made, is Assassin's Creed 2 Ezio's theme, or family theme. So that's why I always put it in all these Assassin's Creed videos, because it just, I don't know what it is, but the moment you listen to it, it pumps you up no matter what game you're playing. You know, you really feel something. So I really like that. Let's see here. They wouldn't really go in if there's going to be an assassin's base. You as a character have like a city that you grew up in, and so there's a book that's coming out, and I have the book, and I've read it, and I got it, I want to say a few weeks ago. I got an early copy of it, and it really dives into Bayek's backstory. About the Medjay and his father and all of that. And so definitely, if you want a lot more story related stuff with Bayek, this is going to be a complete journey for you, and you're going to see this from the beginning of the game and obviously in the books that come out. It really feels like how it did with Ezio. I feel like they're making this character relatable, and they're giving him meaning and purpose. And I think you guys, if you're big into the Assassin's Creed lore, I think you're really going to like the book as well. From what I saw, once you attack a stronghold, yes, enemies might come back, but that loot specific to that stronghold will be gone. So it's not like you're going to be able to constantly attack the same stronghold and get the loot in that specific area over and over again. Yeah. So yes, thank you. Sarah Schockner. I'm sure I said her name wrong, but that is the composer of the Assassin's Creed Origins. Can you fight with your hidden blades? No, there is no fighting with your hidden blade. But you can upgrade your hidden blade to the point, and this would take you a long time to do, but for some of you it might be worth it. You can upgrade your hidden blade to the point of you'll take out any enemy in the game with an assassination. Meaning that if you can stealth behind any enemy, you'll be able to take them out. But that will take a lot of crafting and leveling up and stuff. So one of the cool things you can do is it'll tell you exactly the things that you need in order to upgrade your hidden blade, and you can pin those to the game world so that when you're inside the game and you can say, okay, I need 6 more of this specific pelt, I need 6 more of this, pelt. Then while you're searching around in the game and you're looking at your map, you can see areas of where you might be able to find this, but you yourself have to go into those areas, hunt for those areas, and get that specific items, and then you can continually upgrade your blade, which then can be used like it used to be able to be in the old Assassin's Creed, but they're going to make you work for it. Can you unequip the shield even when it's not on your back? No. You will always have some type of shield with you, except for certain sections of the game. But you will always have the shield. You don't have to have it out, but you will always have the shield. So yes, you can fight in combat with just your swords and no shield, but the shield will be on your back. So you can use double blades, or you can have a single heavy blade, or a staff, or an axe, or something that's too big. It's a two-handed weapon, but the shield will always be with you. Because I'm getting a lot of questions about the shield. There are no corner assassinations. There are air assassinations, but it is a perk. Oh, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, guys, don't forget, if you want to help support the channel, you can see in the top right of the chat, there's a new sponsor button. You can sponsor me on YouTube if you've ever wanted to be able to support and make sure that I can keep doing this, which means the more people that I can get to support, the more live streams I will do on YouTube as opposed to over on Mixer and stuff. So if you like what you see and you want to support the channel and keep it going so we can keep doing this full time, please hit that sponsor button, or, you know, donate, become a Patreon, whatever you want to do to help keep this channel floating. So thank you for all those that have already. Yeah, okay. That's no mission replayability. You can throw weapons at the enemies, and that is a specific perk that you can do. So let's say if I go and stealth assassinate an enemy, then you can take a knife and actually throw it at another enemy that's far off ahead. It's considered to be a double assassination, but as far as actually throwing an axe or throwing a sword at someone, I did not see that to be possible. The map is huge, first of all. The map is so huge. And I don't know why. The map has been released, and you've seen all of the map. So what I'm going to do is, I know someone in chat right now. Hold on. Let me do this, because I want to give you guys. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to zoom. I want to show you guys this full map here of the game. I'm going to put a link that's in the chat. And what I want you guys to do is you can click on this and you can take a look at the map. And I'm going to explain the area and section of the game that we got to play, so you guys can actually take a look at it. I know that's been something a lot of people have been wanting to see. So I've got a picture here that I'm going to show all of you. All right. I just put it in. So click on that. It's an image, and it will take you to the whole entire map level. Now, as you can see, this is the map, okay? So obviously nothing's unlocked here. The area that I got to play is up at the top, around the top right. Kind of, you can see almost where the character is, like where the little emblem is. It's somewhere right around in there. It's above Memphis, but it's below Alexandria. It's below and to the right of Alexandria. It was just a small circle, but when you zoom out, it was like, I mean, the tiniest of circles, but when you zoom in, it's a huge, huge place. So to kind of explain the area that we got to play in, there was about 5 cities that we got to mess around in. There was a complete section of the desert, and I will show videos of the desert and doing some of the cool things that you can do in the desert, which were really, really cool. Like, this is not a barren wasteland desert. You can stumble across anything, hidden tombs, just out of nowhere. I mean, it was really, really cool. So it was a very, 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 very small section overall with the map that we got to play. And yeah, there's an official map on the UB website. So if you want to link that, maybe you can show that to them. You can link that in the chat so they can see it. But yes, it's a huge, huge area, and the map is just so massive. And there were so many cities we could mess in, and there was side activities in every single city. There was, gosh, I want to say at least 15, 16 side missions that I came across. I didn't do them all because I just got lost in just like running around doing like everything. It was So much fun. But it was just a tiny, tiny area that was just south and to the right of Alexandria. And, oh, it was great. But, yeah, so that was kind of like the little section that we got to do. As far as DLC, yes, there's going to be DLC, I'm sure. You get the Discovery Tour and all that, please. So there's going to be all kinds of things that you're going to be able to get into, which is really, really, really fun because it's going to add so much longevity to the game for people that are history nuts, excuse me, like myself, where I'm going to go through every single tour and put it up here so you guys can see it and actually learn about the history of ancient Egypt. And what's great is they've hired Egyptologists and historians on that specific topic that they're discussing. So this is the real deal, real history of what has been going on. Now, what you're seeing in the gameplay is something that's truly, truly amazing. And every time I see this, I have to stop and look because it just reminds me of the Gladiator movie where he's putting his hand, I don't know what it is, such the smallest thing. And I know it's been done in games before, but it's so amazing. Yes, you can use weapons on the loading screen. So that was one thing I was glad that they brought back, was that you can practice using your bow and all of your weapons on the loading screen if you want to learn how to use them and all that stuff. So, and yes, I am still in the army. 16 years and counting now. 16 years. All right, let's see what else. Optional objectives are no longer a thing. So you're not going to have to worry about completing a specific quest in this specific way, like you have to stealth this section or one thing or another. It's so open, you can do whatever the heck you want. It's all up to you. This is your game. This is your story. You're going to guide Bayek the way that you want to guide him. You're going to make him as stealthy as you want, and you're going to make him not as stealthy as you want. So it's really up to you. Oh, every time I look at this game, I just... Now, you see those little red devils, right? Those are the hardcore enemies that you'll come across, the brutes. And you can fight them, and like I said, and you'll get really, really good loot for fighting them. So, and those, they're called the phylax. So, that's right, I'm blind in my right eye, and I got a waiver, obviously. Legally blind in my right eye. It's challenging, but, you know, I make do. I do what I got to do just to be able to do the things that I love, and I don't want to feel like I'm different than anybody else. So, but it's still why I suck at first-person shooters. Desynchronization limits. All that stuff was turned off for the game because we've got to see no modern. So I don't know if going around killing civilian after civilian after civilian is going to desync you. I don't know, because they turned all that off. All the prompts for modern day, all the prompts for all that are off. So in this demo, you could go around and kill anybody that you wanted, and you would have no repercussions, except for more people coming after you. There's going to be big set-piece wars. Yes, there's going to be huge wars that are going to take place in this. Obviously, this is the time of Cleopatra and Caesar, so you know the big war that happened there. So it's good. There's going to be some big wars that you're going to get to play in this game. Feathers? No feathers. No feathers to pick up in the game. As far as the gladiatorial arena mode, they haven't showed anything else except for what we played at E3, but they did say that it is going to be expansive, and you're going to be able to come back at any time and continue. It's like an endless thing. You continue to do more. You can always go back and do more arena mode, and you'll have different venues, some bigger, some set up with traps. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool. Purpose of the carbon crystals, we found a vendor. This is called a roaming vendor, okay? And you've seen it in one of the videos I did. Actually, it's on the screen right now. No, it's not. That's somebody else. Where you can get these crystals, and you can get these loot boxes. And if you have enough money, which means you've been doing a lot of side missions, a lot of gaining up, you're going to be able to use those to get some really, really cool gear. And they move all over the place. So if you see them one time, they might disappear and then go somewhere else, and you have to do those specific things and get that specific money to get them. For some reason, I thought that that woman was it was a little kid. There's so many kids in this game. Yeah, so again, there is a photo mode. That was another question. There were a lot more animals shown in the demo that we got to play than any other demos. I can't name all of the animals that are in there, but they're very, very varied, and they each, just like in Far Cry, will have an emblem above the area that they're in, and that's how you can hunt specific animals. You can tame animals, meaning that there is a perk, an unlockable perk that you can ability that allows you to. Now, here's the kicker: you can't just go up to an animal and be like, "Oh boy, calm down, boy. Yeah, he's on my side now." No. What you have to do is you have to knock it out. So you have to use the sleep darts to knock out whatever animal you want to tame, and then you go up to that animal and then you can tame them. Now, what this means as far as gameplay and what you can do with it, it means that that animal will follow you wherever you go, and you can use that animal to attack other people in the environment and stuff like that. So it's just, you guys remember Far Cry Primal, same kind of concept. Also, you don't have to tame animals if you could just let them loose. If they're locked up in a specific area and there's a lot of guards around, you can make the front door of the whatever thing that they're locked up in, you can shoot it with an arrow, and then they'll attack anyone in the area, including you too. As far as the level cap, I believe the level cap is 40. Yes, I believe the level cap is 40. I don't know if they're going to expand that or not, but as far as I know, the level cap is 40. But the higher the level you get, the more experience points it takes to get to that next higher level. So let me explain something that I did in the game. Everyone knows, at least by now, that you can poison enemies. So whistle an enemy over, poison them in the bush or whatever. Then take that body and then place it in the middle of the map or the middle of the camp or whatever you're trying to do, and whistle. Try to get someone to come towards you. When they see the body, all the enemies are going to gather around and come towards the body. They're going to get poisoned. Some enemies will be able to break the poison after a few hits. Other enemies will pretty much be dead, meaning that you'll constantly get a hit meter showing up more and more and more. And that the enemy, it'll go through its stages of death. So it'll start coughing first. It might fall to the ground. It'll start puking. His friends will be like, "Whoa, what's going on, man? Are you okay?" All that normal jazz. And then eventually he'll end up dying. So much immersion, so much all that stuff. What's up, Green Team? All right, Green Team. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Hope you and the family are doing great. As far as their Roman armor to equip, I have no idea because we never got that far in the game to see Roman armor. There is no cover system. That is gone. All right, let's keep going here. You're not going to have your own specific house that you can call your home that you're going to be able to, take missions out of or things like that. But you do have an area that is your home, that people know you, that people that is your area. So you can duck anywhere in the game. There is a specific stealth gameplay, meaning that anywhere you want, you can duck to go into stealth mode. No longer do you have to be in a bush to duck, like in Black Flag. As far as I know, there was only pre-made outfits, but those outfits will all have different colors and all have different things. There are cats in the game, and yes, you can pet them. So the thing with cats are, and I don't know why they did this, but it's actually pretty funny. There's no like a pet. There's no pet button, so it's not like you go up to an animal and you can pet it. If cats come up to you and you're near cats, you drop down into stealth mode, and then you just kind of go idle. Don't press anything. Eventually, Bayek will put his arm out and he'll start petting the cats. If you get one cat and you pet that cat, and it becomes like a tamed animal, and it gets its friends to come with him. So those cats will start following you everywhere you go. And I mean, everywhere you go, as long as you remain in sight, they will continue to follow you, even in combat. Now, they can't do any damage to enemies, but that's the only animal that if you go next to, get into stealth mode, and go idle, it's the only animal that you'll be able to pet like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, the only version I've ever played of this game so far is 4K mode on Xbox One X. So I have not seen the PlayStation version. I have not seen the PC version. That's just how it is. You guys will like this video if you haven't seen it already. This video specifically that's showing up right now is the no HUD mode, which is super cool. I had a blast playing with the no HUD. You had to learn where to aim and all that stuff. My favorite weapon type are the double blades, or the super fast, where you hold two blades at once instead of your shield. Your shield remains on your back. That's my favorite, just because you can get in so many rapid hits. So normally it takes about 3. You get about 3 hits every single time you're attacking enemies. 3 quick hits, and then they will be stunned back, and then you can't do it anymore. So it's not like you can continuously swing at an enemy and he'll just eventually die. It's you can do about 3 hits or so, then he'll parry and then go back. It's a little weird sometimes, but once you get into the rhythm, you do a lot more damage with those little blades because they move so fast and you can do so many hits at once. So you do way more than 3 hits with those, which really comes in handy for those people that want to get down that health. Alright, let's see what else. Only 1 hidden blade, so you can't double assassinate with 2 blades. You will be able to throw a knife, but that's it. So you drop down on someone, throw a knife at someone else, or get up behind someone, throw a knife at someone else. My favorite bow is still the Predator bow, and it's when I used the Predator bow this time, and I said it wrong last time, the Predator bow is the one that allows you to follow the arrow. And I tried this, and you'll see this in this video right here. This is the video without any HUD. And you'll see me use it. However, it was a little weird and confusing for me because I'm an inverted player, and there's no option to change the up and down to invert with that specific ability, because it is an ability. You don't just get to do that with the Predator bow. You actually have to unlock that ability point, spend it, and that's how you do it. So it's something that you're going to have to, spend an ability point on, and then you can follow the arrow for a certain amount of time, which is really cool because then you can like shoot from far back, or you can shoot around corners, or down if an enemy goes around somewhere. And if you're not inverted, you'll have an easy time doing it. It just took me a little time to get used to it, I guess. This game is going to be long. This game is going to be way longer than Syndicate, way longer than Black Flag, way longer than any other games. This is an RPG. So this is going to take you quite some time. I mean, the main missions that we've done, each little tiny section of the main mission, took 20, 30 minutes. It was just a tiny section. So we had 2 main missions that we can play, 1 main mission that we can record, and we couldn't record the other one. And each one of those had sections of that mission, and they each were continuously more and more difficult. And there's going to be a video that I'm going to be showing a little later. I'm separating some of the videos so that you guys can have a good stream and flow of videos up until release. But in that video that I will show off, you're going to see me do that mission, you know, at a very, very low ranking when the mission wants you to be at a high ranking. And you're going to see just how brutal and how much longer missions can be if you try to undertake them with your stats not good enough for that specific mission. So don't think that because a mission is at level 18 and you're at 14, you can't physically do it, that the game says, oh, you got to wait till you're this level. No, you can do any mission that you want that's available. Doesn't matter what the level it is. But you're going to die so quickly. It's crazy. Let's see here. We don't get like a, as far as I can tell, we don't get like a big boat like we did in Back Flag. That kind of gameplay is not in the game. You can get on boats, and there are boats that are going across the sea and all that. But this is back way back then, guys. Did they even have, I mean, the ability for that type of combat that you had in the 1700s? I don't really think they did. As far as crafting goes, crafting's fun. It really is. And normally I can't stand crafting because I don't know. I just don't like that kind of gameplay. But in this, because I wanted to get, because you can get your hidden blade up further, and that becomes very, very handy with a guy like me who wants to stealth assassinate everyone. Crafting became fun, and it became an actual purpose for me. I don't think Bayek is going to be the new Ezio, but I don't mean that he's worse than Ezio or he's better than Ezio. I mean that there are characteristics from Ezio that you're going to get from Bayek, and vice versa. So you're going to feel for this character. But because they come from different time periods, it's hard for me to say, and I haven't played the full game, it's hard for me to say which one I like better. But right now, obviously, I still like Ezio better, and that's just because we've spent so much time with him. But Bayek has that quality that Ezio had. So I'm very, very excited to see where they go with it throughout the course and progression of the game. Yes, you can vault over obstacles. There's parkour in it, so you're going to be able to, you know, do that fun stuff. Oh, I love this right here. Look at this. Again, for me, down is up is down. So when I had to do up is up and down is down, it was so confusing because I'm doing inverted when I'm aiming here, but then it automatically switches and it changes everything. Oh, we're going to get it. No. I love it. Yes. Animals have different speeds, so this, depending on how much they are, this donkey might not be as fast as this horse, or vice versa. What else? Okay, let's keep going. You cannot switch to a specific time of day in the normal sense. Like, there's no meter that says it is 3 o'clock. I want to switch. I want to meditate for 2 hours till it's 5. Nothing like that. It's based off of like a 12-hour period. So you're going to go daytime and then 12 hours later. So I did have an experience once where it fast forwarded me, and it was in the daytime, and it stayed in the daytime. But it went to like dusk instead of nighttime. So it was like on the edge, which was pretty cool. I liked that. So it's not going to be like you can set a specific time. It's going to be either day or probably night. There are, as far as I saw in the demo that I played, 3 difficulty levels: easy, medium, and hard. Now, another cool thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'll have a video on this later too, is the custom waypoint navigation system. So when you set a custom waypoint, or when you have a particular mission that you're doing and you're on horse, hold down the A button. What that does is that sets a line and a path that your horse will follow. And you'll just continually follow that path. It will take you the road route as opposed to the like kind of the 45-degree angle route where, you know, you can go through fields and stuff if you're doing it yourself. But it's a nice way to kind of experience the world. What's really cool is being able to zoom out and take control of Sinew while your character is traversing using that mode. Now, what this allows you to do is watch below as Bayek is running through the world with his horse and all that, and you can mark enemies that you see up ahead, get a lay of the land, because you know where you're going, so you can kind of set up a strategy of, you know where you're going, while Bayek is making his route there, set Sinew all the way up to that point and start getting the layout of the land, so you know where enemies are, placements. It's something to do while you're moving from one point to the other. I think is very, very important, so as not to make the gameplay so boring as you're just moving from one point to the other. There's actually something to do during that, and I used it and I really, really enjoyed it. It was fun. Now, one cool thing about it too is if that for some reason enemies start attacking Bayek while you're with Sinew and he's roaming along his path, it'll automatically lose control of Sinew and go back to Bayek, so that way you're able to not just like die. You don't want to be Sinew and then all of a sudden you're dead because you ran into an alligator while you were going along your path. So, you know, it was pretty interesting. No co-op, obviously. No modern day. As far as big free running set pieces, there wasn't in any of the demos that I've seen. But I think there is going to be, because you can tell by the trailers that it looks like it's setting itself up for a few moments where you're going to be able to have some really cool set pieces in those big battles. So I'm expecting there to be some, which I think would be pretty cool. Of the story amount that I did get to play, yes, it was good. It was a very small amount of story that I've gotten to play. I don't want to ruin it, just like you don't want to have it ruined for you. So they gave us an option to play the second mission that we couldn't record, but they said there's going to be some spoilers in it. That's why they can't record it, or we couldn't record it. And I said, I don't want to play it. And it wasn't because I didn't want to play something that I can't record. I didn't want to play it because I didn't want to ruin any type of spoilers until I had the game in my hands and I can sit back. And I'm not in an environment where all these developers are watching me and everyone is looking at me and stuff like that. I wanted to be able to sit back and just like kind of relax while I play it and watch it. So that way I'm still on the same level as you guys when it comes to playing this. I don't know anything about a Juno mission. All right, so I'll start taking some of your guys' questions in the actual audience here. So, okay, I had a good question here is, like, say you got a specific weapon. Can you run with that weapon the whole game? Yes. And what you can do is that weapon will have specific upgrade. You can upgrade it, so you can continually make it better. Like, you'll have that same type of weapon. Like, there was many times I came across the same weapon that was more upgraded, but it was the same weapon as you go along further and do more stuff. So yes. Yes, Aya can help you in missions. Ones that she's obviously a part of. It's not that the guards will respawn. Once you go away, yes, there will be guards back again, but no longer will you be able to get the loot and stuff like that. How you make money in AC Origins is simple, is you either go around getting loot or you complete missions and do things like that. You'll come across side missions. These are actual story-based things, so you'll get a full story with cutscenes and everything with the side missions. And there'll also be these little events that go around where, like, you know, an enemy group might be attacking another group or something like that, and you can help defend them, you know, things like that. There are going to be multiple player characters, but Ash would not go into detail on what those player characters were, but we know of some player characters that you're going to be. We have a strong notion that you're going to be able to play as Anya. And this is just my own theory. I have a sneaky suspicion that we might get to play as Anya and Bayek's son eventually, to a point, kind of like Red Redemption. You know, when he dyed his hair, and only a few people are gonna get that one right, Laser. But I don't know. I feel like it's setting itself up to where they're gonna have a kid, and that kid is gonna be playable in some manner or form, and I think that'll be pretty cool if that's true. Yes, you can run over people. And the latest demo that I did not get stopped by anyone. So I actually ran them over. Whereas in one of the demos I did in the first demo, or excuse me, the last one, the Memphis one, every time I ran into somebody, it would like stop the horse dead in its tracks. And no longer did that, so. I know, I said Aya. I know, everyone says it differently. Aya, Aya, whatever. Let's see. I don't really like to compare The Witcher 3. Exactly, Zeppo. Yep. When John dyed his hair. I don't really like to compare The Witcher 3 with Assassin's Creed, and that is because it's not fair. This is the first time Assassin's Creed is moving into an RPG. How dare we try to compare it to, for one, an amazing RPG that is an RPG at heart and has always been an RPG at heart. It's not fair. It's not fair to Assassin's Creed to compare The Witcher 3 with it. We can show similarities, things like that, but I will never compare this game with Witcher 3 because it just doesn't make sense. Not for a first-time outing in an RPG setting. It just doesn't make sense. What is my say on the Proto-Templars? If we know what they really are. I'm really interested in the way they've set it up and all the trailers and what I've seen is very mysterious and it looks really cool. So I'm really excited about that. My favorite location so far is a location I haven't been yet, and that's Alexandria. I showed a video. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually go to Alexandria, but I could take Sinu and show you as closely as possible what Alexandria looked like. And it was so massive. So massive. This is a city that feels like it can be a full game in itself. And I can't wait to play. Oh, quit making my water mouth. All right, let's get something else going on here. I don't know if I've shown this, but I think there is going to be some flashbacks. I think we're going to get a chance to play in Rome some way or another. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to surprise us. I feel like they've really not shown a lot of things off just to make it that much more surprising when the stuff actually happens. And I know the information that I've got for you guys isn't necessarily groundbreaking and brand new, but with all the footage that you guys have seen, you can see that it's just getting better. And right now what you're seeing is the footage of me using the navigation system. So Bayek is moving on the horse up ahead, and you can see I'm taking over as Sinu, and we're just kind of following along the path. And I just think it's really cool. I think it's just another way of showing off how beautiful this game is, right? Yes, there is a photo mode, so there's just so many possibilities of how great this game is going to be. I just hope that people can get over all of the bad things that people say about Ubisoft. It's not about that right now. It's about, are we going to get a good game? That is the focus. Is it going to be enjoyable, and is it going to be good? So when you start to play this game, or when you see others play this game and you're making a judgment, base it off of this game. Don't base it off of a company itself because you don't like them or not, because then you have the potentiality, I like to make up words, of losing out on something that can be special because you didn't want to give it a chance because you're pissed off at past experiences. So don't let that kind of hinder you. I will be playing on PC unless they only give me, because they've been really showcasing the Xbox version of the game off. So unless they only give me a copy of that one, I rather play the PC, unless I'm able to get the Xbox One X. But the Xbox One X doesn't come out until November, and the game ships the 27th of October. So my guess is I'll be playing the PC version, so I can show you in the highest fidelity. Well, I'm glad, John. I'm trying to whet your appetites here, because I want you to be as excited as I am, and I want to show the game off to its most furthest potential and how cool it can be. There are going to be things that you're going to think were ridiculous, right? When you're comparing them to other games that you shouldn't compare them to, you're going to think, oh, the dialogue seems stupid. The voice acting can be a little iffy. All of the main characters do an amazing job, but some of the side characters can sound really, really, awful. Just downright awful. But you're not going to be able to get a game like at this scale where every little voice that's in the game is going to be, 100% perfect. So some characters that are so tiny and don't mean anything to the overall story, they're going to sound really repetitive and weird and whatnot. I found that the lip sync animations were a lot better than previous demos. I do like the fact how you can move. I know this is something so simple, but I like the fact how you can move your camera around in cinemas. These are in-game cinemas. They're all in-game cinemas. Every cinema in the game is in-game. But there's a difference between a scripted cinema and a kind of a non-scripted cinema. The scripted cinemas are the one that you see like with Cleopatra, where they give you the camera, or they make the camera angles for you. They, like the ones that you saw when Cleopatra was introduced and stuff like that. And then the ones like you just see here, where you're just talking to an NPC. You can move the camera around, get close-ups on the faces and look at the lip syncs and stuff. And I don't think they're that bad. I really don't. They could be better. Always can be better. But I don't think they're that bad. Health will work. There is regenerative health, but it's in 3 blocks. So when you get hit a few times, you lose a block. If you don't get hit, you'll gain that block back. If you do get hit during that losing the block again before it regenerates, it'll go down the next block, and then that's how you continually lose health. As far as I could tell, there were no health potions, so there was no way for me to instantly heal and get full health back. So it really makes you pay attention to the combat and taking hits and backing away and regaining your stamina. Stamina is a big thing, especially when you're dodging and stuff like that. I finally figured out how to use the lock on. They changed it again, so it took a few minutes before I could figure out which button the lock on was. But once I figured that out, the combat became really smooth and fun for me. Lock on is very important. The reason it's so important is you get attacked from enemies all over the place, and you need to know that you're focused on at least one of them. You can quickly change the direction that your lock on is by a flick of the stick, so that way if someone's coming at you from an angle first, then you can defend and block against them. Yes, I've enjoyed this more than any other Assassin's Creed game. As far as my small gameplay that I played. Is it my favorite Assassin's Creed game yet? No, I can't say that because the game's not out yet. But I've enjoyed the gameplay and what it's doing and how it made me keep wanting to play over and over and over again. I mean, I snuck into the second play session because I loved and wanted to play this so much more. Literally, I had one play session, then that play session group leaves, and then the second PlayStation group comes in. I snuck into this. I didn't sneak in, but I begged to stay for the second one, and they let me. And, played another 3 hours of the game because I enjoyed so much. It was so much fun. So I'm actually really, really, really looking forward to the full release. Milk. You can change different parts of your outfit, but it's not the outfit itself. It's the garments around the outfit. The outfit itself is a one piece, but again, it's all randomized. It's different from the others because the combat is completely different. Its RPG elements are so much more out there than they ever were before, and this is not a game where you're going to live the whole time. You're going to die a lot. So you feel that the game is too easy? Hannibal, you're in for a freaking surprise. Because I spent 35 minutes on one enemy trying to beat this enemy. 35 minutes. 35 minutes of my playtime on trying to beat one enemy. It was brutal. And I was blocking, I was parrying, I was being smart, but it was difficult. Totally difficult. I recommend everyone to at least try hard. I think you'll see how it is and you might enjoy it, but as far as me, I don't know if I'm going to play. I'm going to do a video where I'm going to ask all of you guys out there what you would like to see as far as my walkthrough for Assassin's Creed Origins. Do you want to see me play it on hard? And I'll ask you all different kinds of questions, and we'll get a consensus on what everybody wants to see. Because remember, you cannot replay missions. So if I could replay missions, I would completely do it on hard, because then I would be able to show you the correct ways of doing things and, you know, perfectionist wise. But it's going to be harder to do that in this game because you can't replay missions. Non-playable characters everybody takes damage in the game, yeah. There are different kill animations, and you'll always get a kill animation when one enemy is left. You should be scared. I mentioned this already, multiverse. There is only 3 difficulty levels. Oh, it would have spent me a lot longer than 35 minutes, but I said maybe I should actually move on. So I never beat that enemy. I never beat that enemy. It was just too much. Well, of course, granted, I was playing against that enemy, you know, like 7 levels lower. So, yeah, it's brutal. Yes, you can pull enemies over an edge, just like, you know, those, not necessarily cover assassination, but yes, you can pull enemies from the ledges and kill them. Regenerating air underwater. You can only do that by going to the surface. So you'll have a breathable meter, you go to the surface. And yes, you can fight underwater. The only thing you can't do is use a bow and arrow, which makes sense, you know, physics and all. But yes, you can. Well, I guess it really wouldn't make too much sense to use a sword underwater either, but you can. But you cannot fire a weapon. So let me give you guys. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tip and trick that I found, and I'll show this in the video too. But I'll give you guys an early sneak peek at it. So one mission I did again, and I've said this many times, where I was a way lower level than the enemies. I kept going over and over, but I kept getting killed by this one enemy, and it was just a normal enemy. Nothing big about him. It was just a lot of levels higher than me. What I did in order to get around this was sleep darts. So as long it doesn't matter if an enemy sees you, as long as you can aim at an enemy and it hits them, you can knock them out. Okay? You can use the sleep dart to knock them out, and then you can immediately go up to them and do an assassination. And from what I saw, I was able to assassinate anyone I did that to. So as long as you have enough sleep darts, you can assassinate any enemy you want by doing that. So I sleep darted him, walked up to him, assassination, then did the next thing for the next 5 or 6 enemies or whatever. And that helped me get through that section, which was ridiculously tough because of the amount of damage input that I was able to put out. Just wasn't enough for what their skills and health was. Base upgrading, no. At least nothing I saw of. Yes, you can still use a bow and arrow on the surface of the water, as long as you're like not up to your head in water. Caleb, what's your question, brother? Don't be a sourpuss. Yes, you're being ignored. All I see is questions here. What are the side quests like? Man, what a question. Watch the gameplay. That's such a simple question. You're complaining about it. What are they like? They're like mini stories. So, They don't feel tacked on or added on. They feel like each one of these side missions has a purpose. Some of them lead into other side missions that you feel a cohesive story that follows a specific path. So they've done a good job at making you feel like these missions are more than just side missions. You know what I mean? Even though they might not pertain to the overall arc of the story, they pertain to the overall story of Bayek and his journey. Max level is 40. Have I yet visited Pompeii? Padone, I have not visited Pompeii yet. Sorry, I just don't have enough time to really go out and travel anywhere. The story from the book. So, as I mentioned before, I've got the book. And give me just a second. I'm going to go get it, and I'll read you guys the synopsis from it. Hey, hon. All right, sorry it took a little bit of a long time. So, here you go. This is Assassin's Creed, Desert Oath, and I will read the synopsis. So, before Assassin's Creed Origins, there was an oath. Egypt, 70 BC, a merciless killer stalks the land. His mission, to find and destroy the last members of an ancient order, the Magi. To eradicate the bloodline. In peaceful Siwa, the town's protector abruptly departs, leaving his teenage son, Bayek, with questions about his own future and a sense of purpose he knows he must fulfill. Bayek sets off in search of answers, his journey taking him along the Nile and through an Egypt in turmoil, facing the dangers and the mysteries of the Magi's path. Yep, the book does not release until I think the 10th of October. But as you can see, it is a very, very thick book. So lots of great stuff in here, and I think a lot of you guys are going to like it. So make sure you pick this up if you can. I was trying to inherit my inner my inner Bayek. In peaceful sewer. You're such a funny guy, Padone. All right. I got a few more questions here, and then we're going to call it a quits because I don't want to waste all your guys' time. Again, there's not as much info as the other times. I can only just kind of explain some of the things that I saw and what I went through and talk to Ash about it and whatever. And a lot of questions have been answered, and a lot of questions that get asked are questions you can't answer. So, as far yes, you can kill civilians, at least in the demos that I played. Well, I never really went to capacity, but there is a certain amount of things that you can carry and have in your inventory, but it is a huge amount. I did not see any perks that said anything, and I might be mistaken. I did a video specifically, and I haven't actually went over the video yet, but because there's still a lot of footage that I haven't went through yet, but I'm going to do a video on showing you all of the abilities, every single ability, and show you a video of every single ability that you get. But if I'm remembering correctly, I didn't see any abilities that said anything about expanding your inventory items. So I might be wrong, but I will have a video showing every ability. The outfits themselves do not have stats. They are cosmetic. The main story is 756,000 hours. And that was a quote from Ubisoft. You can ask them about it. I did play Desert. Yes, Lone Gamer. And actually, that was one of the most fun I had in the game, because in the desert, I got to find some of the secret things. There's a specific mission that takes place throughout Bayek's journey, the whole game, and it's a mission that is up the whole time, and you can complete it and not complete it. It's up to you, but it's kind of like a Bayek's story and journey mission. And that is when you do those special, you know, when you look at the sky and you try to match up the constellations to match the animals. So that specific mission, there's a total of, I think what was it? It was either 15 or 12 of them that are throughout the whole entire map, and you have to find them. And that was just amazing. And one of those I found was in the desert that I played in. And the desert also, there was a few hidden temples that I saw. The pyramids, we couldn't get to the pyramids in this demo that we had, but they were right there just out of our reach. And these were the big pyramids. The pyramids that you saw in Memphis weren't like the massive ones, but the ones that we saw were completely massive in the background, but we couldn't get to them. So they're saving that obviously for the release of the game. Overall, I feel great about the combat. I really feel like it's set itself up in a new direction, and it's going to piss people off, and I want it to piss people off, because you have to understand this. He is not a trained assassin. He hasn't had all of this, the bloodline and all of this training passed down from generation and generation and generation. So we all got spoiled because every guy we've played with before had that passed down from generation to generation and really felt badass, could take enemies out quickly, and it was easy. But you're not going to get that here, guys. This is a guy. You're going to feel that this is a human being, okay? When an enemy attacks him, he stumbles, he falls back. You know, when a guy's bigger than him, he falls down. When you try to block somebody with a heavy attack, that heavy attack could knock you back and knock you on the ground, even if you do block it. You feel like there's a weight to all the characters in the game, and you really feel that he is learning. He is the start of something. So you got to keep that in mind, and you'll get more enjoyability of the game if you keep that in mind. Will the gear change the appearance of the outfit? No. The outfit is what it is, and you get it in the store, in the Weaver, and you just keep coming back and getting them, as far as I know. I hope Desmond's mentioned somewhere, because Desmond is such an integral part to the entire Assassin's Creed franchise, and what they did with him was appalling. And I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people are assuming that maybe you're taking place, that Desmond's son is in the modern day in this one. I don't know, but I want Desmond back somehow, because I feel like, without Desmond, it kind of lost that Assassin's Creed flavor. You know what I mean? I didn't really see that you could customize the layout of the controller, but there is a legacy setting, which for people that are fans of the older series, obviously, you know, you'll like that if you can get used to the new setting. That's right. RT, at least on the Xbox controller, is heavy. RB is light. LB is putting your shield up and down. LT is always aiming a bow. Let's see what else. Pressing up once, you take control of Senu. Pressing down once, you call your horse. Holding down, you... Hold on, shit. Holding up, you do your little eagle vision. Not really vision, but a sense of where you can see loot items around you. Yeah. A is your contextual button as far as climbing, jumping from one roof to another, obstacles, parkour. Moving forward is running, slightly forward is walking. And then your weapons are all on the left and right D-pad. Pressing once is one weapon, then pressing again from that point is another weapon. You have a torch on your right hand. And you can have sleep darts. Unfortunately, I can't go into any information about the so-called assassins, NPCs that use stealth and bombs and all that stuff, because it wasn't in the gameplay section that we played. I was still playing an a middle section of the game, not too advanced. Definitely not halfway yet in the game, because when the section that we played, we literally just met Cleopatra, and it was a cutscene that we got to see. We couldn't record it, but it was an amazing cutscene, and that cutscene is when I fell in love with Bayek. Watching that cutscene actually made me fall in love with Bayek, because he showed me the range of his character in that cutscene, and I really enjoyed it, and it really showed the character of Cleopatra as well. Yes, you can fight with your bare hands. No naval combat that I've seen. But there will be some sort of combat from naval, but it's not going to be like Black Flag. Yes, you can obviously replay the game on a different on another save with another difficulty, because you use multiple saves. Lots of large cities, but the biggest being Alexandria, and it's massive. Most likely not to have microtransactions. I wouldn't care either way. And the reason I say this, Padone, is because microtransactions is all on you. It's on the player. You can either get it or not get it. I would not be affected if Assassin's Creed Origins had microtransactions, because some people don't have a lot of time to play certain games, and some maybe they want to get a little bit ahead so they don't have to do as much grinding, so they can enjoy it in their own way. They pay $60 for it. If they want to spend an extra $10 to do that, then they should be able to do that. It goes towards the development of the game. So I'm not really against microtransactions. So it really doesn't matter to me one way or another if a game has it or not. If I don't want to pay for it, then I will grind and I will get it, and I'll get it my own way. I don't feel that the limp sync is that bad. Definitely not as bad as as Mass Effect, but I didn't feel any less immersed when I was watching some of the cutscenes of the game. It didn't bother me. That's not what I know. It's a video game. I can separate reality in a video game. A lot of people can't. The map is huge. It's completely bigger than any of the other games at all. Heck, just the section that we played in was probably bigger than Syndicate and Unity. So I mean, it's huge. 4K looks amazing. You guys have seen it. I know YouTube can't really sell it that much, but it's truly amazing. And I wish I could show you guys the raw files so you could see just how amazing it looks. There is way more customization than Unity. Way more. It's just what you think of customization isn't necessarily what other people think of customization. Yes, nighttime in the desert does look really cool. Shield is not unequipable. You will always have a shield. Let's see. Are you able to remove the spear from your back? Yes. Don't have the spear equipped. So you can have two weapons equipped at a time. If you have one weapon equipped in your hand, then the other weapon will be equipped on your back. So if you have it not equipped at all and you choose a sword or double blades instead of having a spear, then you won't have a spear in your back. It's called science. I think some people are a little too focused on minor issues as well. I don't get focused on that because it doesn't, you know. And yes, you can set weapons on fire, which is really cool. Always awesome to set your arrow on fire. Use it as a distraction behind somebody to get around, or you know, whatever you want to use it as. And yeah, and that's pretty cool. Now, I can't think of any other questions that I can really answer at this time that I haven't answered in some videos or something like that. I'm trying to still look through here. There is no free jump. You can't just jump in the middle of the air. It's contextual. No homestead mechanic. Yeah, that's about it. I know this wasn't as informative as some of the other ones, but I just wanted to show off, you know, any more questions that I could answer for you guys. I've played about a total of 12 hours of the game so far, and I feel like I just haven't played nothing. Like when I play the game and started up from the beginning, I mean, it's just like I haven't played anything. It's so crazy how big and daunting this game is. You know, and I just try to show you as much as I can and get you guys as excited as I am for this game, because I truly love it and I want to show it off in a good light and let people understand that Assassin's Creed can change, but we can still have that same Assassin's Creed in our hearts and allow it to evolve in a different way and take us in a new direction. So try to keep an open heart and an open mind when you load this thing up for the first time, or when you're watching other people play it before you just start bashing it. And I do that with every game. Every game I'll play before I'll say if a game sucks or not, or if they need to improve on one thing or another. So it's just dependent on, you know, who you are as a gamer and what you think of games in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to Arturo, thanks to Renee, obviously, for stopping by and helping with the mod and all that. Thank you to everyone. You guys mean the world to me. If you haven't already, please become a Patreon. Help me keep this dream alive. It's getting tougher and tougher every single year to be able to continue to do this, and support is definitely needed. So become a Patreon, do whatever you can, become a sponsor, all that great stuff. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. Do something good for somebody. And I will see you next time with more Assassin's Creed Origins, as videos will be coming out every single day. So you'll be getting a lot more coming in the near future. Thank you so much.